Hi, I'm Andre, and this is day 25 of my 30-day YouTube challenge. Today, I'm going to be using a kite to show some principles that apply also when ground handling a paraglider. So for this kite, it's just basically a surface that deflects the wind, and then you have two control points, one on either side, and on the ground you have two control lines, one that pulls this side and one that pulls this side. So there's a lot of similarities between a kite and a paraglider, so I'll just go over some of the key differences, the things that are not the same. On a paraglider you get pitch control, which is basically when your wing rocks back and forth, and that's when you pull the A's, it pitches forward, or when you pull the brakes, it pitches back. On a kite, you don't have that. You only have two lines, and the lines, these three lines where the main line's attached to, you can't change the lengths of these in a dynamic way. So whatever angle of attack you have, you're stuck with it. So if you have two control lines, and you pull on one, or you pull on the other, that's more similar to weight shift on a paraglider rather than pulling the brakes. So we now have the glider rigged up with our two lines. And I thought I'd just go over the very simple way and how it works is basically we're having a breeze from this way, and basically as the wind hits the kite, it gets deflected. So where that gets deflected means the kite will fly in the opposite direction. What I mean by that is, if the kite is perfectly vertical, and imagine the kite is just a flat plate, it's not directing air up or down. But if it's slightly back like this, the air will be hitting it and going up, which means it pushes the kite down so it doesn't fly. However, if it goes past the vertical, it will now be deflecting air down, and you can see already that because the air is going down, the kite wants to go up. And basically for a paraglider it's the exact same thing. Just like flying a paraglider, you kind of hope to be right in the center of your wing, so your lines are in the direction that the wind is blowing. We're not quite right, but we should be close enough. And as that angle goes past the critical point, it will start pushing air down, so the wing, or in this case the kite, will go up. And as you can see here is the area that you have to play with, both with the kite and with your paraglider, is like a sphere, where you are in the center of the sphere, your lines are the radius, and your glider or your kite is on the very surface of the sphere. And we don't have a full sphere, we have something like a quarter or a bit less than a quarter of a sphere to play with. And at the center of that area, which is pretty much where I am now, is the power zone. So that's when you're pulling your glider up, and the very first 20-30 degrees, that's when it pulls you the hardest. And then you have the edges, which is on the top there and on the side there as well, where the angle of the glider and the angle of the kite is very similar to the angle of the wings, which means it pulls you less. So if it's a strong wind day and you get your glider up, you run towards it, and as it's above you and you let your hands up, that's the best chance you have to launch into strong wind, because your wing is pulling you back less. So that there is the edge of our play area, the edge of our quarter of the sphere, where it wants to fly further, but it can't. Also here you can see a similar thing, that when we have our wing and we put the wing up and it's on our side, if the leading edge of the wing is pointing past the perpendicular one way, it'll go up, past the perpendicular the other way, it'll go down. So you can see it there. So in the days that you can't fly, you can still ground handle, and even if you can't ground handle, you can still fly one of these, and they're really cheap and fun to fly. So that's it for the video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have any ideas for upcoming videos, leave it down in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.